What if I told you that DoorDash and Uber Eats use propaganda? Well, not in the way that you truly think of that word, but they are very good at messaging words specifically to try to get dashers and delivery drivers to prioritize their best interests ahead of the individual driver's best interests. This is something that has been going on from the very start, and the company's best interests and the dash's best interests are almost never aligned. They're almost always polar opposite of each other. And so the just what I'm trying to get at here on this one is that when you see certain messages inside of the app, or DoorDash in particular sends specific texts, they're trying to, again, get you to consider their interests over your own. First thing what I'm going to think about here is when you go into the app itself, into the DoorDash Dasher app itself, and you see Dash Now. Stay busy with lots of orders. Well, you may stay busy with lots of orders, but if those orders suck, you're going to lose money. Again, not in your best interest. They wanted you to consider their best interest. Their best interest is that the orders get delivered. Your best interest is that you make money. And much of the time on DoorDash, according to an unofficial survey, 40% of Dashers lose money, by the way, overall. And it's because of messages like this that cause that to happen. Another one is, once you're in and once you're logged in, it'll say, searching for orders. You're more likely to get orders within hotspots. Those are the little orange hexagons on the map, or supposedly hot orders. Well, again, not in your best interest, but in their best interest. It is in their best interest to have drivers dispersed in a way that they will get to the restaurant faster. Waiting on my rear at home is not in their best interest. So what they want me to do is they want me to get out of the house and go to these supposed hotspots, which again, I believe to be a total fabrication and a lie. I believe DoorDash is lying out their rears. It is in their best interest to have you in these hexagons. It's not in your best interest. If you're like me and you wait at home for trips and you log in and you just wait here like I am right now, it's in my best interest to be waiting at home because it's more comfortable that way. If I have to go to the bathroom, I got one right here. I can take care of things in the house that I can't take care of while waiting in a vehicle. I can clean. I can wash. I can, charge my phone. My phone's on a charger right now too, by the way. I can do all these things. Check the mail. Do all sorts of personal things that will take care of myself personally. But I can't do that while waiting in my vehicle in a random parking lot in a so-called hot spot. From my experience, you're not more likely to get an order in a hot spot. It's a lie. It's a complete ploy by DoorDash to get you to be geographically positioned in a way that benefits them. Speaking of things that benefit them, this isn't particularly a message. Actually, I'm going to share another one first here real quick that is a message. They will send you a text or an in-app message if you're, like, say, when I do wait for orders at home here, I may go to the bathroom before I head out. Well, if I go to the bathroom before I head out, it takes a couple of minutes, and they're going to say, we notice that you aren't moving. We notice that you haven't made progress to your pickup. If you are unable to complete this order, please let us know, or we will reassign it to another dasher. I have never had an order reassigned to another dasher. It's in their best interest to have you get to the restaurant as fast as possible, but it's not necessarily in your best interest. Again, I'm in Forest Lake, Minnesota. We have some of the longest restaurant wait times in the nation. And according to my own studies, and according to my own tracking, we average 12 minutes per restaurant here. You are not going to benefit by getting to there any faster. In fact, if anything, you want to spend that time on your own things, and in my case, sometimes going to the bathroom We're getting drinks, making sure I'm loaded up for the road, and you will use your time for your purposes and not for theirs. Now, DoorDash's best interest is to have you at the restaurant as fast as possible. But again, with these particular wait times in this particular market, you wind up wasting a lot of time just sitting around waiting. That's not good. Not good for you anyway. Great for them, because at least you're there when the food finally does get ready. Speaking of manipulated pickup times, what if I told you that the restaurant pickup time that you get in the app versus what the restaurant gets in their system are 5 minutes apart? I found this out at Chipotle weeks ago. If the DoorDash app tells me to pick up by 5:50 p.m., DoorDash is going to tell Chipotle to have the order ready by 5:55 p.m. That wait time that you're suffering at the restaurant is intentional. They do not care if you wait. In fact, they would want you to wait. DoorDash wants you to wait at restaurants and waste time. And they do not care. Because the wait times are so egregiously long here, DoorDash in-app has also semi-hidden the option to earn by time, because I believe in this market in particular it's costing them a lot of money. You don't have it available up front like you used to. You kind of have to dig for it. But in this market, this has been costing them an enormous amount of time. They also say that you earn on tips on top of that, but I don't believe that to be true. So DoorDash again uses in-app messaging. They use messages that they send out to you. They sometimes go out by text, but the goal is all the same. They want you to prioritize their interests above your own. And the two are almost never aligned. This battle's been going on pretty much from the start. I don't see it ending anytime soon, because DoorDash is going to do its best for DoorDash. Uber Eats is not as nefarious for this, believe it or not. And the lag time in the pickup versus what the restaurant is told doesn't really exist. Now, a lot of times what happens in Uber is that they will give you and the restaurant the delivery at the same time, which means that if you are at a distance from the restaurant, you're actually helping yourself. It does work in your favor because you're not spending as much time waiting at the restaurant. Sometimes if you're close enough, if you're only like 5 minutes away, sometimes you can meet them right at time. So Uber is actually advantageous to you in that regard. So there it is. DoorDash propaganda. Always looking to serve their best interests as opposed to yours. And these are a couple things to look for specifically within the apps and within any messages that they send you. Be on the watch out for these, because they're always going to be pushing their best interests, and they want you to consider their best interests over yours. And this is how they cleverly do it. I think they probably have professional script writers who write these things, and they're probably paid pretty well to do it, because across an entire system, if they can get a small percentage of drivers to start considering DoorDash's best interests over their own, they make more money. So that's it for this time around. I'll continue stacking these up while I'm away from town, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out, homies.